turn the year around and cash out big time when you continue to mash up on star 567 hash and the MTN Pulse app. In the MTN Pulse and Chill promo, remember, to earn points, you just have to buy your favorite mashup bundle on star 567 hash or the MTN Pulse app to stand the chance of being one of the many winners to win up to 5,000 Ghana cedis, food and shopping vouchers, and lots of data from now till 30th of November 2020. So keep mashing up to win large. MTN Pulse, just be. We day for you everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. And the perfect start promo for your kids is still on. With just 200 Ghana cedis in your new or existing Access Bank Early Savings account, you could be on your way to winning a share of more than 100,000 Ghana cedis plus other amazing prizes in the perfect start promo. Yep, earn points every time you deposit to get early bird membership, milestone, and savings culture points to help you build up to the ultimate 2,000 points that will qualify you to win the grand prize. And the excitement continues when your kids visit the Perfect Start microsite to participate in fun and educational games to win weekly and monthly prizes. And because you know kids have talents too, your kids can participate in the Access Got Talent competition and the Quizzy Sundays to win amazing prizes like bicycles, PS5s, tablets, and many more. Register your child today at ghana.accessbankplc.com/early savers, or you can call us on toll free 0800 004400. Access Bank, more than banking. Doc is here. Hello, Doc.
Kwame.
How you doing, man?
Oh, good. I mean, life couldn't be better.
Ah, that sounds good. I like it.
Yesterday we won Manchester United.
Oh, you're Manchester United fan.
Oh, Kwame.
How sad?
Oh, how sad is it? We have graduated from the 6-1. Now we are doing 4-1.
No, you have done 2-1.
2-1. Slow starts, but now we're hitting.
Well, I'm happy for you guys. I mean, my Chelsea couldn't win yesterday, unfortunately. So,
sorry,
we take it like that. Yeah, but you know they will come back to Manchester, right?
Oh,
the PSG people, right?
Like
there's a return leg.
We like the France, the okay. Place. So we'll tell you that we don't want them at Old Trafford. It's good to be back.
Yes.
How's your week been?
No, it's been good. And
right.
Well, at this point, it's not been so good because yesterday I was following the Nigeria protests and the images I was seeing very gory.
Terrible.
Very disappointing. So I've been really down since last night. After the show, I just kept up with what was going on in Nigeria, the things I'm seeing on Twitter, and it's not really pleasant.
Not pleasant at all.
It's got me a little.
At this time. In our democratic dispensation, it shouldn't. People should be allowed to express themselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's the big deal? Right. So Kwame, last week we started a conversation, and before we go on, I'd like to say a special good afternoon to Lucy Ofosu. She's an ardent listener and Senior Administrative Assistant at the Ghana Postgraduate College, the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons.
Okay.
Yes, lovely lady, and she helps all of us anytime we get to the college to transact one business or the other. So last week we started a conversation about chronic kidney disease.
Yes, we did.
And Kwame, we've all been seeing what's going on in the news. Social media has now made it even more easy for people to put out the information. Every now and then you hear one person or the other, succumbing to chronic kidney disease or needing dialysis, or even sometimes even a kidney transplant. So what we've decided to do over the past 2 weeks is to make sure that we discuss chronic kidney disease and look at the risks in developing chronic kidney disease. So we had that conversation last week. Unfortunately, we couldn't take a lot of calls, so many calls and text messages. So this week, I'm just going to recap what we talked about and just point out a few areas that I want people to take note of, and then we'll open the phone lines and then we'll take a lot of phone calls.
If you have any questions, get ready to ask them. You can actually send them ahead on our WhatsApp on 055-1111-997. We're still talking about the chronic kidney disease.
Right. So when we use that expression, chronic kidney disease, then we're referring to the gradual loss of kidney function over a period of time, as opposed to acute kidney injury, where something dramatic happens an individual becomes, for example, severely dehydrated, or is involved in a very gory accident and loses a lot of blood, and then the kidney is shut down, or there's an immediate loss of function. That is acute kidney injury, as opposed to the chronic kidney disease where there's a gradual loss of kidney function over the period. The kidney has three main functions. We talked about the synthetic function. I mentioned EPO last week, erythropoietin, which, if you like, is a chemical that stimulates the bone marrow to produce blood or to make blood for you. So without that, then you get into trouble. You don't have enough blood being formed. So EPO is an example of the synthetic function of the kidney. It also has what we call excretory functions. So I keep telling people that it's the zoom line of your body. It takes out a lot of the filth. So these days you hear people say, "Oh, I'm going to do detox. I'm going to do detox."
Yeah.
Well, the best detox organ in your body is the kidneys. If they're working well and they are filtering well, then it does that job of removing the waste in the blood, which is pumped into your blood by the cells. It takes it out of the body. So it has very important excretory function. It even takes out excess water. If all the water that we drank stayed within us, then we would all we'll probably burst one day, get swollen and then burst. So it is very, very important function that it performs, excretory functions. Then we have what we call the metabolic functions. An example is calcium. We all know about calcium and its role, the role it plays in strong teeth and bones. So calcium metabolism is regulated to some extent by the kidneys. So the three main areas of kidney function are what I have described. So these are all very, very important functions, and therefore when there's a gradual loss of the kidney's function, then you develop a lot of complications over the period. Last week also I focused attention on the two main causes, the top two causes of kidney disease, because I'm sure that's what's in everybody's mind. What causes kidney disease? Chronic kidney disease. Number one, number two, in Ghana, in most parts of the world as well, high blood pressure, and not type 2 diabetes, diabetes in general, whether it's type 1 or type 2. So these are the top two causes of chronic kidney disease. The sad thing is that these two medical conditions, although they are chronic, they can be managed perfectly well. So I have 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, and even 80-year-olds who are hypertensive, who are diabetics, who are in tip-top shape. Unfortunately, I see people in their late 30s, early 40s, who suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes, who are not also in good shape, whose kidneys have been damaged to the point where some of them need to be having dialysis on a regular basis, or even some need a transplant to happen. So diabetes can be treated, can be managed. High blood pressure can also be it's a treatable condition. But you've got to do the right things. The TLC has to kick in, not the tender loving care. The therapeutic lifestyle change, TLC. So your lifestyle change in the areas of diet, exercise, regular exercise, and adhering to the regular reviews with your physician, and then also being compliant with your medications.
You talked about smoking and drinking.
Exactly. So in terms of the healthy lifestyle, we're saying no smoking, no alcohol, if possible. I always say that there's no good reason to drink. So if you have to drink, then you have to stay within the recommended limits.
Yeah.
We keep talking about it. 14 units over a 7-day period for a male adult, and then for the adult non-pregnant female, you shouldn't do more than 7 units. But again, I would repeat it. I think the other time when the gentleman you had in the studio to talk about alcohol, he was adamant. He was like, no, nobody should go into alcohol and all of that. So those two things as well. These days, we also encourage, as part of the TLC, the therapeutic lifestyle change, we say when it comes to the diet, it's very simple. More fruits and vegetables in your diet, less meat, less salt.
Less meat, less salt.
Yes.
Okay.
more fruits and vegetables. So we realize that we do not incorporate a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables in our diet. So we move away from an animal-based diet to a plant-based diet. That's what we want to encourage, and then less salt as well. So when you put all of this together, then we're talking about the therapeutic lifestyle change. So when we put all this together, then you are better able to manage the hypertension and then the diabetes very well. And if you manage these two conditions very well, then you reduce your risk of developing chronic kidney disease as a result of these two medical conditions. Of course, there are other medical conditions. I mentioned inflammation of the filtering units of the kidney, a condition we call glomerulonephritis, as also being the third commonest group of disorders that lead to chronic kidney disease. We also talked about some genetic conditions or malformations of the kidney. I talked about kidney stones. I mentioned polycystic kidneys, where you have these fluid-filled lesions in the substance of the kidney. I even talked about recurrent infections. Some people always get UTIs, urine tract infections, all the time. And if these infections are not treated, then they can go all the way up, affect the substance of the kidney. So if you have frequent urination, pain on urination, most likely you've got a UTI, and you've got to get it checked. And it's a very simple test. We just take a spot sample of urine, and then within 15-20 minutes, the analysis should be done, and you'll probably be put on antibiotics to treat you.
Okay.
So these are the causes.
All right. Let me activate the phone lines now. 0302-216-541. If you have any questions regards to kidney health, like we've been discussing for the past couple of weeks, then please call in and ask Dr. Yao Osafo, who is the CEO of Medical Hospital. Regards going out to my brother Kola. Kola is listening from Tamale via TuneIn.
Wow.
His question is interesting. How many gallons is 1 unit of alcohol? we've gone.
A third glass of a spirit is 1 unit.
A third glass.
And a third glass is about 27 mils. 27. Let's say 30 mils.
Yeah.
30 milliliters. I think it's one.
So cola, one thought.
So 1 thought.
Yeah.
Of a spirit, akpeteshi, whiskey, gin is 1 unit.
Akpeteshi is not spiritual. That is the soul itself. Akpeteshi. A password home. Okay, I think we've got a friend on the line. Is it Kofi?
Yes, Lexis, how are you?
I'm well, Kofi. How are you?
You're doing great.
Thank you so much, brother.
Can I ask the doctor, can malfunction of the kidney cause swelling of the body?
Right. So, is it Kofi, right?
Yes, Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi. Yes, it can cause swelling of the body. But typically the swelling starts with the feet or the face. So you tend to get what we call early morning facial puffiness. I mean, all of us, when we wake up in the morning, we've all got our sleep face. But then if you start realizing that your eyes are really puffy, around your eyes are puffy, and this puffiness tends to resolve mid-morning. By 10 o'clock, then it resolves. So some people actually are frightened by the way they look in the morning, the mirror, but by the time they get to the hospital, they bathe, they dress up and get to the hospital, it's resolved dramatically. So that's how it starts. If you're experiencing early morning facial puffiness, then that should be an alert.
Okay.
Then you have your feet getting swollen and then it progresses. So yes, you can have that.
Echo.
Yes, sir. So,
hi, Echo.
Yeah, how are you, please?
I'm good. How are you?
Very great or good. I'm feeling very sleepy. I'm feeling very sleepy. But the last week, actually, it was really cat and donkey, so I couldn't actually listen to exactly what he was talking about.
Right.
So I'll tell that today, whatever the situation is, I have to, I'm feeling sleepy right now. I say no today.
Right.
I don't have to listen to you.
So we're doing a part 2, yes.
Yes, and then actually I'm diabetic.
Okay.
But for the past 4 years now, I've not been having erection. I'm sorry for erectile dysfunction. I don't know whether there's any hope, whether there's any remedy. I'm 44 years. Whether there's any remedy or any hope that in the future I'm able to give birth, or I may have erection.
Right.
And then secondly, I'm having this thing. Even though I'm having a sore around my big toe for the past 8 months now, it's not growing. Even though I went for amputation, but later on it came back. Then I think rather it is growing, but it is not hitting the way I wanted for the past 8 months now. And then I've been having this thing, swollen feet. I don't really know whether as a result of the sore, or both feet, or
all right.
It's my kidney that is disturbing me.
Echo, we need to speak after the show.
Yes, I called your number the last time, and I spoke to the lady. So I call you around
right.
6
So
p.m.
so right. So you let's speak after. We cannot discuss your health issues on air. It is the ethics of my profession doesn't allow me to do that. So immediately after the show, let's speak. I'll get your number and then I'll talk to you, because we really need to speak. If you are diabetic and you have a sore and it's on your feet and it's not going, it's not good enough. We talked about erectile dysfunction on the show, Kwame, the other time.
We did.
So yes, there are solutions to this. So Echo, I'll talk to you immediately after the show. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Akufu is on the line. Hello, Akufu.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. How are you?
Yeah. My problem is that I've been diagnosed of something in the kidney, and they said they call it sweat or something like that.
Sorry, they call it
sweat, or so I don't know the
sweat.
Is it a cyst? Probably a cyst.
You say what?
A cyst.
Cyst.
Yes.
And then the liver too is fatty.
Okay.
And the heart has enlarged a little.
Okay.
So this is my problem. I went to see a cardiologist, and I will be going to see urologist tomorrow.
Right.
But I am now down. I cannot even get up to walk. Just after I went to see the cardiologist, I'm down for about a week, a week or two, about the weekends on 2 days.
Right. Okay.
Just on bed, and when I want to get up, my knee, I'll be hearing the sound in the knee, so I cannot get up to move.
Right. Right.
And
okay.
I'm having a severe waist pain. My urine has been thin, not as before.
All right.
My problem.
Okay. All right. So again, I would want to discuss these issues privately. So we'll talk immediately after the show.
Hello, Akufu, are you there?
Akufu, are you there?
No, Akufu is off. But if you are listening, Akufu, I think right after the conversation, the doctor is going to leave his phone number,
right,
so that you can get in touch with him, because some of these are very delicate.
Very delicate.
It's like
very
it needs more
and it needs
detail.
More detail, probably more explanation. So
yes,
he's done the right thing. He's seen a cardiologist, he's seen a nephrologist tomorrow. But yes, feeling more tired, having less energy, having trouble concentrating, a poor appetite, fatigue on minimal exertion. This can all be symptoms of either heart disease or even or kidney disease, as we discussed the other time.
Akufu actually even sounded very tired.
He sounded very tired, very tired and very ill. So
let's get help for him.
Yes. I like to speak
Baba is in Tamale. Hello, Baba.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Is it Baba?
Yeah.
Is it Baba?
My issue is I've been having this. I had a UTI some time back.
Right.
And I go to the hospital. I treat it, and it goes. I do a test. They say the urine is clear, and I'll just be there, and I'll begin to get the symptoms again. It will come. I'll go back to the hospital, back and forth like that. So I'm wondering how this plays out, and if it will have an effect on me in the long run, because I'm still having a difficulty with that.
Okay. All right. So, Lexis, I did mention that the symptoms of a urinary tract infection.
Yeah.
Frequent urination, nighttime urination, and sometimes a burning pain on urination.
Yeah.
So initially, we'll take a spot urine sample and then we'll examine it. But then there's also a second lab test, which is called a urine culture, which is not readily available. I must admit, it is not routinely done in most in a lot of the centers, because they don't have that microbiology capability. But there's a urine culture test that needs to be done once you keep having this recurrent urinary tract infections. The urine culture test will try and grow the specific organism. So there are different bacteria that can cause a UTI. They respond differently to different antibiotics. So some of the microorganisms are resistant to some of the antibiotics the doctor may prescribe. So in the absence of a urine culture, one, we are not able to identify the exact organism, and then we are not able to do what we call the antibiotic sensitivity testing. So we throw antibiotics at you, you take them for 5 days, you feel better, and then in 2 weeks you are back again to square one. So he needs to get a urine analysis done, then follow it up with a urine culture, and that will help really guide the first. So he's in Tamale, so he should ask for a urine culture the next time he go, or he should suggest that to the healthcare professional, and I think that would be done, because having recurrent urinary tract infections is not ideal.
Okay, 0302216541. You can also call in and ask your questions. If you're on Twitter, you can tweet and ask #DriveOnJoy. There's a question coming from Twitter that I'd share with you, Doc. This one says, it's actually from Fifi Hilton. How well does prednisolone, is that it?
Yes.
Prednisolone work for a 12-year-old kid who loses protein through his urine?
Okay, so prednisolone is a type of steroid.
Oh.
Right? It's a steroid drug. Steroids are very useful drugs, but they can be very, very harmful drugs as well. So double-edged sword, and we use them with extreme caution. Extreme caution. They're very, very useful drugs. They're used as anti-inflammatory agents to quieten down inflammatory conditions of the body. So depending on the disease condition that the individual is suffering from, he or she might benefit from steroids. But steroids have their side effects, particularly when it comes to children, then we worry. But in our line of work, we're looking at benefits against the dangers of not being put on anything. What would be the natural history of the disease if there is no intervention using the steroid? So that judgment call is made by the physician treating the individual.
Yeah.
And if that physician, looking at all the factors, decides that a 12-year-old should be put on steroids, then I think that would be the best decision for the child.
I've got Kwame here. Kwame.
Yeah, Doc, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Kwame. What's up?
Doc, the caller that just called I think I have the same issue with the UTI.
Okay.
Because I'm a swimming instructor. I'm always in the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think based on that, almost every week or every 2 weeks, I keep getting reinfection from the UTI. I've gone to the hospital and I treated a couple of times.
So one, for starters, we always want to know and confirm whether or not this is a UTI. And as I walked the earlier caller through the steps, we do the routine examination of the urine, and then if it is suggestive of a UTI, then you must have a urine culture done. So if the urine culture comes out and it says that you've got this particular organism in there, then they will do what is called sensitivity testing. In the lab, they will test it against different antibiotics and find the one that it is sensitive to. And then you get that treatment as well. After the course of treatment, you're supposed to come back to the hospital with another urine sample to go over the process again. But this time around, you probably might not do a culture, but you do the urine routine examination. Okay. For us to be certain that indeed the infection has been cleared, so that it doesn't become a reinfection. Being a swimming instructor too then has its own risk. They get this what we call the swimmer's ear. There's infection all the time. Unfortunately, not everybody keeps the same hygiene standards. I mean, I've never gone near a pool, but when I was a kid, growing up in Akusumbo, swimming pool was our business. But when I grew up, I realized that some people actually pee in the pool, and do all sorts of things in the pool. I don't know. Yeah, they threw all sorts of disinfectants in it, but personally,
I hear they put chlorine and things inside. It's not good enough.
Well, if they are using the right amount and all of that, but generally, what people do sometimes in the pools, so that is a risk. Being in there as a swimming instructor all the time.
Yeah.
So probably that is a professional.
So those of us who are not so good swimmers and we drink some of the water. Because I've been drinking some of the water mistakenly. Hey!
Baby, you are not Dadabi.
Manumbi. Hey! Doc, a lot of people have questions, lots of them. Please give us your contact so those who would want to see you as well personally can.
Right, so the contact is 0501 477 340. 0501 477 340.
All right. Dr. Al-Safo is the CEO of Medicas Hospital. Medicas Hospital is in Medina Firestone behind the SG Bank, okay? And also Mampong Equiapim. You can actually see them, and they're definitely going to